up, we're going to bring another champion for this cause, someone who's been very vocal, council member Althea Stevens.
Peace. It's been a while, y'all. Sorry about that. Peace, family. Unfortunately, we are here again. We are here again to fight for equity. We're here again to make sure that our voices are being heard. We're here again to say that we have the solution. And the solution is giving the money to the organizations that know how to do this work. That is what we are saying. DOC does not need more money. They do not need to be doing things in-house because they have proven time and time again that they do not know how to do it. It is unacceptable that we are seeing more lives being lost on that island. It is unacceptable that they're not making a plan to make sure that these borough-based jails are opening on the time. But guess what? We're going to hold them accountable. We're going to hold them accountable. Because you know why? You guys show up each and every time to make sure our voices are being heard, to make sure that those people who are on the island are being heard. So I appreciate you and thank you. Thank you for keep showing up because it is hard. It is hard to be on the front lines, but you do it each and every time. This budget needs to make sure that it has equity. We need to make sure that our providers who are doing the work has the money to make sure that they are doing this successfully. We cannot keep giving us these low wages and these low contracts and exploiting that we love this work. Because they know we're going to show up anyway. Because they know those are our brothers and sisters and we're not going to leave them behind. And so it's our responsibility to push back and say enough is enough. We are going to fight to make sure we get the things that we need in our community. And our brothers and sisters need to be in our community. So let's keep fighting, let's keep working, and let's get it done.
Thank you so much, Councilmember. So we have a lot of organizations here today, and I want to shout some of them out. So it's Exodus Transition. Clap it up for Exodus. Is Osborne Association here. Right. Is Cases is here. Is Fortune Society. Right. Fortune Society. Who else we got out here? Shout it out. Who else we got? Clap it up for Broad Connect, y'all. Brooklyn Defenders out here. Clap it up for Brooklyn. Who else we got? Street Friends out here. Who else we got? NYCDS is here. Clap it up for NYCDS. Who else we got out here? Excuse me, we got legal aid here today. We got SCO here today. We got that. Who else? Neighborhood Defenders is here today. Oh, we got the Bronx Defenders here today. Oh, we got Rise of Resistance here today. Who else is in the house? We got Green Hope in the building today. Green Hope. Providence House. Providence House. Clap it up for Providence House. Somebody said Freedom House too, right? Yeah. What about Freedom Agenda? Yeah. We got a lot of organizations out there today. One of the things I always say is that we can't do this work alone. We have to be connected to organizations. Because the people who want to maintain the status quo, they organize. That's why we got these repressive, exploited systems today. Because they organize and they got resources. And sometimes they out-organize us. Look what happened with Roe versus Wade. Look what just happened. 40 years, what? 50 years? 50 years that we thought we was in a place. We kicked our feet up and they was organizing underground. And look what happened. And the same thing with this other pressure system.
And they ain't done.
You know, and
nigga,
None of this done.
And neither are we.
That's right, neither are we. Build broad coalitions like this so we can have the people power in order to put the things in place that bring community safety. So with that, I want to bring up our next speaker. Y'all know him, directly impacted, one of the strongest supporters for services and programs for formerly incarcerated people, representing the Fortress Society. You want to give it up, put your hands together for Andre Ward.
How's everybody feeling? I don't hear you. What do we want? When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! My name is Andre Ward, and I'm the Associate Vice President of the David Rothenberg Center for Public Policy at the Fortress Society. And today, our founder, David Rothenberg, who will be 90 years old, stands with us in solidarity with all of you, because this is an important issue. We want to thank the Freedom Agenda for convening this event and being out front and organizing organizations to stand against budgets that negatively impact the people that we serve, not only in jails, but in the community. They say that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. We can prevent the deaths on Rikers Island by making sure that the right investments are put where they need to be. A budget is being put forth now that negatively impacts the lives of all of the people on Rikers Island. We know that the problems in our jails will not be solved by increasing funding for the same line items that are not only failing to produce results, but resulting in harm and in death. People mentioned before that there are so many people that have died on Rikers Island right now. We also know that it costs over $500,000 to jail someone on Rikers Island, and yet that same money can be used to allow 13 people to access supportive housing. And at the Fortress Society, we have been providing supportive housing, emergency housing, and transitional housing to people who have been impacted by the criminal legal system. So we know that it works. And we know that putting the right money where it needs to be will ensure that people will have the opportunity to live a life of contribution. We know that. One way that cost savings from the budget could be utilized is to enhance funding for supportive housing for people leaving jail and prison, to prevent them from returning. Current funding for justice-involved supportive housing is so far below what's sufficient that no current service provider, including the Fortress Society, submitted a proposal to receive this funding, and nothing has happened yet. What has happened now is there's been something put forth to eliminate all of the service providers like the Osborne Association, the Fortress Society, Service for the Underserved, and others for not providing the requisite service that people need on Rikers Island. And we are stunned and we are outraged as an organization by this sudden development, which we only learned about this week. So people are putting forth ideas without consulting the very people that they're impacting. We urgently call on the mayor and the Department of Correction to reverse this ill-considered decision that will severely impact the safety and staff of the people incarcerated on Rikers Island. And the staff that work on Rikers Island from the Fortress Society are here. This is a community safety and justice issue, a decision that ends decades of DOC investment in these services and should not be taken lightly. It is vital that the Adams administration fully fund these programs, which are integral to making Rikers Island safer and preparing incarcerated people for stable, secure lives post-release. So we want to thank all of you for coming out. But the fight continues. And we will continue to fight. Because what do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! And we will get it.
Thank you so much, Andre. Thank you so much to the Fortress Society for all the work that you do and all the organizations that put in their work. So you know, the closed Rikers plan, one of the things that it included was 380 more units of justice-involved supportive housing. But the mayor won't commit to just $13 million to get that up and running and online. Because we know we have a housing crisis in the city, and it's a shame that people coming home is not getting these services, these wraparound services. And that's just a little bit of change with DOC budget. You know, $13 million, that ain't nothing. So next up, we're going to bring a council member on who's been an ally, a great supporter, you know, of the work that we've been doing. And council member,
Good afternoon, everyone. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. My name is Shaker Krishnan. I'm the council member for Jackson Heights and Elmer Queens. But I am telling you, I am fed up and tired and angry of being out here over and over again to demand something that not only is the law of the city at this point in calling for closing of Rikers, but it is the biggest humanitarian crisis of our time in this city.
That's right.
How can we be a city that talks about welcoming everyone, being inclusive, supporting everyone, if we can't support the most vulnerable who are here, whether it's those who are incarcerated at Rikers or even our asylum seekers coming here? And on top of that, on top of all that we are seeing, despite our calls for closing of Rikers, now this administration wants to cut the funding of the very groups that are here, Fortune, Osborne, so many others who are here, who are doing the work every single day to help those who are incarcerated at Rikers. That is absolutely unacceptable. In fact, who's going to do that work if they're not there? DOC, the same DOC that oversees torture in Rikers, the same DOC that can't even comply with the single court order from the federal court monitor, the same DOC that has refused to end solitary confinement in our city. It is shocking that we are at this point, and it is shocking that not only this administration will not close Rikers, but now is undermining the very support for the organizations doing the work on the ground every single day that our city government should be doing. So we will fight together. I have joined y'all over and over again to fight for the closure of Rikers. We will keep making our voices heard, we will get it done, and we will fight together to make sure that the organizations that this city council supports and funds to do this vital work actually gets funded. We can do no less. And as I said, if this is administration, if this is a city that truly cares about its most vulnerable, then it can start by closing Rikers, then it can start by providing services and supporting the organization and continuing the funding of those who are doing that work every day. Thank you all so much.
Yes, thank you so much, council member. And thank you so much, council member. We want to move it along because we only have a limited amount of time. So I want to bring up someone, you know, representing where the birthplace of hip hop came from. You know, the BX. Representing the Bronx Defenders. Put your hands together for Julia Solomon.
You hear me? Okay. Good morning, everybody. A little closer? Oh, there we go. Okay. Closing Rikers Island is not just a criminal justice issue. It is a housing issue. It's a mental health issue. Struggling New Yorkers need treatment, not jail. They need housing, not cages. They need a city that cares about their dignity and their freedom.
Right.
As public defenders, we know that keeping someone in jail solely because they don't have stable housing is discriminatory and inhumane.
That's right.
Yet, every day we scramble to find a way to quickly set up that missing piece of someone's release plan. The piece that will finally convince the district attorney's office to agree to that plea we've been negotiating. Or finally push the judge to release someone in need of treatment. A safe place for them to land. In 2020, this safe place to land, then called the Mock Day Reentry Hotels, was the only reason that our client, Miss S, was able to access mental health support in the community. A survivor of sexual violence, Miss S struggled immensely in jail, but due to her charges, the judge would not release her into treatment court without housing. And the availability of a room in those reentry hotels is what changed everything for her.
Right.
Right.
To close Rikers, we need immediate, barrier-free reentry housing, and we need it now. The budget that divests from the Department of Corrections, an agency that lacks any true accountability, an agency whose priority will never be the people in its custody, as demonstrated by the latest plan to cut outside programming in the jails. When will we prioritize support over punishment? When will we allocate funding to resources that we know achieve our shared goals for public safety? Resources like rapid reentry housing that are proven to reduce the jail population and break cycles of justice involvement. Fund people, not punishment.
That's right. Yeah.
Thank you, Julia.